For my mini project 2, I've decided to speak on a weekly basis for a video podcast regarding virtual education. For this first week, I want to talk about the strengths and weaknesses of virtual education and the diffusion of innovations theory. I think that the diffusion of innovations theory and virtual education work really well together because virtual education is something that hasn't always been around. It's something that kind of has progressed through the internet becoming more and more popular over the years. I have a lot of experience with virtual education. I've always done college online. Even when I was taking classes on campus, I still like to do online classes, and now I'm fully online as I'm working full-time and trying to finish my degree. So I also did online high school as well, so virtual education is something that's always been a really big part of my life, and I definitely really prefer the flexibility that it gives me. That's definitely a really big strength for a lot of students. I feel like a big weakness in my experience, though, is not being face-to-face. A lot of times communication can be not as effective because everything's done online, but as the progression of the internet has come along, I feel like, because I have been doing virtual education for probably all of high school and then 3 years of college, so about 7 years of virtual education, I can kind of see how it's progressed really well, and that in the beginning it definitely wasn't as effective as it is now, just because of how communication has broadened in 7 years. For example, when I started doing virtual education, FaceTime and Skype and all of these elements like this video podcast were not around. So that definitely makes a big difference now. And so I think like the progression of the internet definitely helps with the communication, but there are still weaknesses like just not being face-to-face and in a classroom and not having someone reminding you to do your homework or whatever, reminding you of due dates. It's all on your own, but I think it's a special type of student to do online virtual education, and I think everything that I just spoke about kind of works alongside the diffusion of innovations theory really well, in that as the internet has become more diffused through our culture, virtual education has become a lot more popular because students realize that the flexibility is there and that all of these strengths are becoming more well known as one student takes a class and tells someone, oh, this is a great experience, and the communication's getting really well, and like I always have really good things to say about taking online classes because I have something to compare it to and that I've done it for so long. So to be able to see the progression and let other people know it's the progression is coming along really well, and that communication is becoming better and better in these online classes, I think that coincides really well with diffusion innovation and just spreading the word, and more online classes are becoming available, more people are getting their degrees online, just really promoting the strengths and even weaknesses. Like I tell people about weaknesses and that you have to be a special type of student, but that the strengths are definitely starting to outweigh the weaknesses.